But on to the curious case of Carmelo Anthony and the Knicks. Carmelo Anthony and Knicks team president Phil Jackson met yesterday, had their highly anticipated sit-down. And according to Sirius XM, NBA Radio's Frank Isola, Melo told Phil Jackson he has no desire to be traded and will not waive his no-trade clause. And I believe this. I firmly believe this because Melo loves New York. And if he wanted to be elsewhere, he would have signed with Chicago a couple of years ago. With this back-and-forth nonsense, Phil tells me one thing, something that I've been saying for years. When, not if, when the Knicks have to choose between Melo and Phil, you always choose Carmelo Anthony. You always choose Melo. You fire Phil Jackson. Phil Jackson's got to go. Remember, he started this nonsense and mess when he was on CBS Sports Network on We Need to Talk, and he ripped Carmelo Anthony. Listen, we love that he was on We Need to Talk. Can't believe they ripped Melo, and we killed him for it. He's always tweaking Melo. Makes no sense. Now Melo has to deal with longtime Phil Jackson pal Charlie Rosen writing this weekend that Melo's time in New York should end. You know, Melo knows. That's coming from Phil. Literally everything Phil has done in New York has been wrong and has failed, other than drafting Porzingis. For Phil Jackson, this job, it's a money grab. It's a side job. He doesn't put in the work. I hated the move, and I was quoted as much when the Knicks hired him. It made no sense, and it's been an epic failure. Phil Jackson, legendary coach, but he has no executive skills, and it shows. He also has no people skills. Doesn't know how to deal with his players, and where was he last week? He didn't talk to the press, wasn't accountable. When Derrick Rose didn't show up for work. Embarrassing. And take a look at the standings. You know, it's tough to even remember. The Knicks were good earlier in the season. I picked them preseason to make the playoffs. Didn't even think twice about it. We talked to Wally Zerbiak about that yesterday on Time to Shine. Then the free fall started when Phil ripped Melo on CBS Sports Network. The Knicks, in my opinion, don't have to be this bad. Phil Jackson, though, creates headaches and distractions. And it goes noted, by the way, and I want to stress this for those in the media elite who bash Carmelo Anthony. Goes noted that Tom Thibodeau, tough coach, he wanted Melo in Chicago. And Coach K loved him with Team USA basketball. And the aforementioned Frank Isola reported in the New York Daily News that LeBron wants to play with Melo. And the great Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, they want him too. The Boston Celtics want him. So he's good enough for that incredible group, but not for Phil Jackson. It's sad. As a Knicks fan, you know there's no hope. The Knicks need a new team president, not a new superstar. They need a president that cares and works, and doesn't work at ruining relationships with his best player. Trade Melo? Never. How about firing Phil Jackson?